Now at 8, the community of Versailles has plans to honor the Tipton family today after the tragic death of 6-year-old Logan. The temperatures are supposed to take a dive this week. Find out what you can do to keep your pipes from freezing. And a tough day on the road for UK. We'll have highlights from the Cats trip to Auburn.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Thanks so much for joining us on this cold Sunday morning, and it is cold. When you step outside, you'll see. And according to Mike Linden, it's going to feel even colder with the wind chill later today.
That's right, Michelle. Even right now, it feels much colder than what thermometers indicate. 28 in Lexington, but feels more like 21 this morning. That's with light winds, mind you. We're not even talking about the gusty winds we anticipate a little bit later on as a cold front works its way in from the northwest. We look to Defender, and right now tracking some very light snow flurries this morning along the Mountain Parkway and into southeastern Kentucky. Nothing that's going to create for more than just a light coating. But if we look to the northwest, there's the next big weather maker for us. A chance for some snow flurries later this afternoon in central Kentucky. But the big change out of the entrance of this front later on will be the cold air that slides in behind it. We're talking about some of the coldest temperatures so far this season, with potential single-digit and sub-zero wind chill numbers. I'll take you through the next few days, coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks so much, Mike. Now, one of the last things we want to worry about when the temperatures drop back into the single digits are frozen, busted pipes. The bitter cold can cause pipes to burst, and that can cause thousands of dollars worth of damage to homes. Heating experts have some tips. Insulate your exposed pipes and keep those taps dripping.
And just do a home analysis. Walk through that home and check things out, and then have a company come out and do a preventive maintenance on your system just to make sure you're ready for the cold temperature.
Heating experts recommend keeping a close watch on your heating system too. Now adjust the thermostats down no more than 3 degrees when leaving, and be sure to change your system's filter. It's been over a month since 6-year-old Logan Tipton was stabbed to death in his bedroom by 32-year-old Ronald Exantis. The Versailles community is still grieving over Logan's death. WKYT's Mike Byer tells us how that community plans to honor the Tipton family later today. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. Today, American Legion Post 67 here in Versailles, along with the mayor, plan to honor the Tipton family after the tragic death of 6-year-old Logan Tipton. As you recall, Logan was stabbed to death in early December while in his bed. 32-year-old Ronald Exantis of Indianapolis has been indicted on charges of capital murder, first-degree burglary, fourth-degree assault, and 2 counts of second-degree assault. His court-appointed attorney entered a not guilty plea on his behalf in court. She says he's mentally ill. Exantis will be back in court on March 2nd and is eligible for the death penalty. Since all of this happened, the community has rallied around the Tiptons. At last check, more than $55,000 has been raised for the family, and through a GoFundMe account set up in Logan's memory. Now this afternoon at 2, we're told the American Legion as well as the mayor of Versailles will present a flag to Logan's parents as well as 2 coins to his sisters. Of course, the public is welcome to attend the ceremony. It's great to see that the community of Versailles is still supporting the family after all this time. Live in Versailles, Mike Byer, WKYT.
It is great to see. Thanks so much, Mike. This week, lockdown training for several Western Kentucky businesses turned into an active shooter training. Instructors with the ALICE program spent 2 days training businesses in Bowling Green to protect themselves instead of waiting for first responders to do the work for them. ALICE stands for Alert, Lock Down, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate.
I think we have to change our views. As a whole, the community organizations like ours have to change our view on what the appropriate response is and not allow them to have the only control.
Anyone who passes the ALICE training course can teach the techniques to others. A Montgomery County veteran is getting a lot of help from friends during a big time of need. Doctors diagnosed Michael Reed with cancer 4 years ago after he came back from a tour in Afghanistan. Recently, the war vet was told the cancer had spread to his brain, and doctors don't think he'll live much longer.
Michael and I have been together for 11 years. We were best friends before that, so I'm not really sure how that fits for me.
Everybody asks you always why, or is there anything I can do for you? And this right here is all I wanted.
Friends and family from all over came together to support and raise money for the Reed family. The Reeds are hoping the money raised will cover funeral costs and help with other expenses. The Pike County Middle School basketball coach involved in a fight at a game has resigned. Wednesday, the county school board suspended Belfry Middle School's head coach Bobby Varney. Now we've learned Varney resigned on that same day. We're told the fight started when Varney took his team off the floor because he didn't agree with the officiating. They were playing Phelps Middle School at the time, and a fan started arguing with the refs, and a fight escalated. Varney may no longer be a coach, but he is still a teacher at the school. The last time the Cats traveled down to the state of Alabama just a couple of weeks ago against the Tide, they came home with a win. The same cannot be said for their matchup last night against Auburn. WKYT's Lee K. Howard has your highlights.
Good morning. Well, Saturday's Kentucky-Auburn game was one the Wildcats should have won with ease, but as we've learned this year, no game is easy for the Wildcats to get the win in, especially in SEC play. And even when they're a heavy favorite, well, you can't place your bet anywhere. Both Kentucky and Auburn started the game slowly on Saturday. Alex Poitras with a miss. Derek Willis would clean it up. Willis came to play his best game so far as a Wildcat. Recorded a double-double for the first time. Jamal Murray had 10 points before the intermission. The hoop and the harm gives Kentucky the 3-point lead. Kentucky with one final shot before the half. They're going to run a play for Derek Willis. He had 7 in the first half. Kentucky had a 35-30 lead at the break. Then in the second, Scalabissiere turning defense into offense. The block on one end, and the freshman runs the court and gets the lob from Tyler Eulis on the other end. But Auburn would fight their way all the way back to take the lead. Kareem Canty, the step-back three with a hand in his face. Tigers on top 53-51, and it was Auburn's time on Saturday. Auburn upsets Kentucky 75-70. Of course, we will have more reaction from John Calipari coming up tonight at 6 and 11 right here on WKYT. Guys?
Thanks. Tough loss there for the Cats. Now an Eastern Kentucky bowling team is wrapping up a season they never thought would start. The Johnson Central bowling team had to find a new bowling alley to call home after a fire destroyed theirs last year. They've been playing in Floyd County ever since, and the coach says that's brought the team closer together.
We thought it was going to be over at first because we didn't really know if the school could afford to bus us up here, if we could afford to just keep enough practice.
Coach Fanning says they are beginning to build a new bowling alley in Paintsville. Trick shots and half-court shots aren't so rare these days, but they're always exciting to watch, right? Check this one out. One Butler student at halftime of the Bulldogs game against St. John's hit a perfect half-court shot. Check that out, nothing but net. Butler won the game, and the student won a year's supply of subs from Penn Station. Not too shabby. WKYT is just getting started. Your time is 8:07. 5 Americans have been released from Iran following the country's commitment to nuclear guidelines imposed on the country. We'll take a closer look at the prisoner exchange coming up. And New Orleans has a style all its own. So did the late, great David Bowie. We'll see how the two combined when we come back.
And while it's cold now, Mother Nature is just getting started heading into the start of the work week. Coming up, I'll show you how low temperatures will go.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Well, if you were wishing for the cold several months ago to get here, the next few days probably were not on your wish list. Very cold air working its way into the bluegrass. We're right now still dealing with the chance for some snow flurries over southeastern Kentucky, thanks to the low pressure system that's currently bringing severe weather to Florida and the Gulf Coast. But we're getting what's way out ahead of that storm system as it works its way up the Atlantic coast. We look to the northwest, though, and this particular storm system, this frontal boundary, is really going to stir things up moving into the next few days. This will be one impact of that front, the entrance of cold air. Now, right now, sub-freezing, yes, it's cold, feels colder than what thermometers indicate, but look to the northwest. Chicago, 5 degrees. Then you look even farther to the northwest. Minneapolis, 10 below. Fargo, 23 below. That's where the air that we'll be getting the next few days is coming from. It's not going to be this cold, but it's certainly going to be some of the coldest that we have felt all season long. Now, if we look hour by hour to how that front over the southwest or southeast will affect us, the answer is very minimally. We're mainly going to see the snow flurries out ahead of that system like we are now in southeastern Kentucky and Virginia, West Virginia. We look to the northwest, though, and as we get into the middle of our day today, out ahead of that front, we could be looking at some very light snow flurries, potentially just a coating for central Kentucky. Once that front digs into the bluegrass state, look behind it there to the west. Not much cloud cover, right? We're really going to dry out a little bit behind this front. And while that is a good thing in the sense that if we did see snow combined with this cold air, we'd see a lot of it. But on the flip side of things, with the clear skies and the drier conditions, temperatures are just going to plummet. Check this out. Watch your clock here. We'll take you into the middle of the day with daytime highs today. Not really much warmer than where we are now, back to the mid to low 30s. Very similar to what we felt yesterday afternoon. But once that front gets here later this evening and into tomorrow, look what happens to those temperatures. Falling into the teens and single digits by the Monday morning commute. And with wind chill, could feel even colder. We're talking low single digits and more than likely sub-zero wind chill to kick off the work week. The afternoon won't be much warmer, even with sunshine, only getting back to the middle teens there. Boy, a cold day out there for us tomorrow on Martin Luther King Day. Tuesday looks to be very similar as well, but Monday shaping up to be the coldest day of the season so far. Just a reminder, the spring is 62 days away. 62 and some change, but nonetheless, about 2 months to go and we'll be done with all of this. But it looks like Mother Nature is just getting started. Once we get past the bitter cold air Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday looks to be the day where we'll be tracking the chance for more light snow. And if temperatures do indeed stay below freezing, we could be looking at a decent amount of snow there on Wednesday. And then for the rest of the week, more moisture works its way back into the bluegrass. So more so than any other week so far this season, Michelle, this week looks to potentially be the most active. So it's something that we'll have to keep a close eye on.
You know, and we work early in the mornings, or I do work early in the mornings, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so I'm dreading that 11-degree temperature I see.
Layers, hats, and
layers.
gloves. That's it.
Name of the game, right? Thanks, Mike. The Big Easy remembered the late, great David Bowie the only way the city can, with some jazz music. Cue that music, and through the French Quarter, they heard music all day as thousands of people packed the streets wearing feathers and face paint and sequins and sparkles, all paying homage to David Bowie. Fans say it's a fitting tribute for a performer who inspired so many people to be themselves.
I've loved David Bowie since I was 14. He's had a huge impact on my life. I lived in Japan.
The official name of the event was called Pretty Things after one of Bowie's tracks on the album Hunky Dory. The Facebook page for the event instructed attendees to wear their best Bowie outfit. And as you see, there were some strange outfits there, but pretty cool thing they were doing there. Your time now is 8:15 on your Sunday morning when WKYT This Morning returns. A prisoner exchange between the United States and Iran means 5 Americans are on their way home. Who they are when we come back. And Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $50 million.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Here's an update on our top stories. The American Legion Post in Versailles and the city's mayor have a special ceremony planned today for the Tipton family after 6-year-old Logan was brutally murdered last month. The family will be honored with a special flag, and 2 coins will be presented to Logan's sisters. The ceremony is at the American Legion Post at 2 this afternoon, and the public is welcome to attend. Rescuers have expanded their search for 12 Marines missing since their 2 military helicopters collided in Hawaii. The U.S. Coast Guard said the search was widened along Oahu's north shore and now extends 8 miles out to sea. The Coast Guard says no Mayday call was received, just word that something had gone wrong. Residents in California are still fighting to stop the massive Porter Ranch gas leak. Officials held a public hearing yesterday. The gas leak was first reported back in October. Since then, nearly 3,000 residents were forced to relocate from the area after many became sick from the fumes. The gas company is saying there will be no long-term health effects. Residents want the state's governor to shut down the facility. Just in this morning, CNN is reporting the 5 Americans freed from Iran are on a plane home. The move was part of a prisoner swap between the U.S. and Iran since Iran met the requirements as part of the nuclear deal. And as Wendy Gillette reports, the sanctions against Iran have been lifted.
Iranian state television announced the news Saturday, a swap of 4 Americans being held prisoner in Iran in exchange for 7 Iranians held or charged in the U.S. The U.S. State Department also dropped international arrest notices and charges for 14 Iranians. The 4 freed Americans are Washington Post reporter Jason Rezaian, former U.S. Marine Amir Hekmati, American businessman Nosratollah Khosravi Roodsari, and Pastor Saeed Abedini, whose wife spoke from Boise, Idaho.
I just ran straight for my kids, and then I told my parents. And then I called his parents and his sister. They were all bawling, and they were getting calls.
Student Matthew Trevithick was also released as part of a separate agreement.
They should be on their way home to their families before long.
The prisoner swap was announced hours before the United Nations nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, certified that Iran has met its commitments as part of the historic nuclear deal with 6 world powers.
Iran has undertaken significant steps that many, and I do mean many, people doubted would ever come to pass.
President Obama signed an executive order lifting U.S. sanctions related to Iran's nuclear program. That means Iran can now sell oil on the open market. Iran will have access to the global banking system, and the country will recover $100 billion in frozen assets overseas. If it's discovered that Iran is still moving ahead with its nuclear program, the deal calls for sanctions to once again be imposed. Wendy Gillette for CBS News.
Iran has also agreed to investigate the whereabouts of retired FBI agent Robert Livingston. Here's an updated picture of him captive. He disappeared in Iran in 2007. Your time now is 8:21. There's still more to come on WKYT This Morning. Sports.
Auburn had Kentucky's number on Saturday. Hear what John Calipari had to say after the game. And the UK women will look for revenge against Auburn this afternoon. That's next in sports.
It's cold once again to kick off this morning with temperatures sub-freezing, but it feels colder than what you see here. Coming up, I'll show you how cold it is this morning and how cold it will be the next few days. Welcome back. It is cold this morning. Temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s, sub-freezing as we get our morning started. If you're heading out early on, go grab some groceries, go to church, or whatever you're doing to get your morning started. Just be sure that you have that extra layer ready to go, much like yesterday morning and very similar to it in the upper 20s and lower 30s. But it feels more like the lower 20s this morning, and even like the teens in Covington, 16 degrees, Lexington 21, most spots in central Kentucky right around that lower 20 mark. Not going to run into any impacts from your active weather today. Over the southeastern mountains of Kentucky and into Virginia, some very light snow flurries. Could be some lighter snow flurries for central Kentucky a little bit later on this afternoon as a cold front digs in from the northwest. But not only the snow flurries, it looks like this cold front's going to be bringing us exactly what its name entails, cold air. Look what happens to our daytime highs the next few days. Today in the mid-30s, but overnight tonight as we lose the cloud cover, overnight lows fall into the single digits. Could be looking at some sub-zero wind chills as well, and then by tomorrow afternoon, not even the sunshine will really help us, back to the mid-teens. So today, the lower 30s, cut that in half, and that's where we'll be for Martin Luther King Day. Lee K. Howard is back in next with sports.
The Wildcats have struggled to find consistency all season long. One thing that had been consistent is Kentucky's dominance over Auburn, winning 18 in a row and 32 of the last 33 coming into Saturday's road contest at Auburn. Both Kentucky and Auburn started the game off a little slowly. Alex Poitras with the miss. Derek Willis cleans it up. Willis playing his best game of his career. Jamal Murray, he had 10 points before the intermission. The hoop and the harm to give Kentucky a 3-point lead. Kentucky with one final shot before the half. A set play for Willis. He had 7 points and 8 rebounds in the first half. Kentucky had a 35-30 lead at the break. But go to the second half. Skal Labissiere turning defense into offense. The block on one end, and then the freshman runs the court. Tyler Ulis rewards him with the lob for the dunk on the other end. Auburn, though, would fight their way back to take the lead. Kareem Canty, the step-back three with a hand in his face. The Tigers took the lead 53-51, and Auburn would coast from there. Kentucky put up a little bit of a fight, but they could never catch up with those Tigers. Auburn upsets Kentucky 75-70.
There's an opportunity right now because some guys are not stepping up. You know, it's just disappointing when stuff is being said. Like last year, you beat West Virginia by 100. This year, you know, you know, like, where's the fight in this, you know? So that was disappointing. But the biggest thing is, look, and I want to say this in the right way, we have a 12-point lead. I'll go back and look. We have to make winning plays. We don't.
Meanwhile, the UK women will try to bounce back from that loss to number 2 South Carolina. They'll host Auburn later this afternoon at Memorial Coliseum. It's that same Auburn team that handed the Cats their first loss of the season just a couple of weeks ago. Coach Matthew Mitchell says the Cats will have to play better against Auburn's pressure defense.
They did a great job of getting us to lose our poise and our focus. And so our positioning was very, very bad. We did not play with any mental sharpness after the 17-point lead we built. We did not space the floor well and didn't make good decisions and got into the trapping areas, and they really also out-hustled us for some balls that were there for either team to get.
That game is this afternoon at 1 o'clock. You can see it on the SEC network. For now, that'll do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.